Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys my updated Performapal deck profile for May 2015. This deck has gotten more support in the Cross Souls booster pack. It still needs a little more support from the OCG for the deck to really be super playable, but you guys still request the deck profiles, so I thought I'd bring you guys something that, I swung together, still playable. If we get cards like Star Wolf or whatever it's called, Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon, then this deck becomes a lot more, push base with offense. But until then, got the deck profile, so let's go ahead and get started. Just the main deck. I'll go over extra deck possibilities later, and just didn't have, the time to come up with one. But I run 3 Performapal Friend Donkey. This card, when it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Performapal from your hand or graveyard. So it just allows you, for easy exceed summons, for you to get back monsters, because it doesn't negate the ability, so you can use that monster's effect if you want to, making 3 very viable. 3, Whipsnake. Whipsnake, probably one of your big monsters of the main deck. Once per turn during either player's main phase, you can target one face-up monster on the field, switch its current attack and defense until the end of the turn. It's during either player's turn, so you can really screw up their attacks if they're going big with a monster. Plus, you can target Whipsnake with Friend Donkey, so you can get Whipsnake back, use its effect like that if you wish be. 3 and 3 of those at the moment is pretty standard. Plus, I run 3 of the new Performapal Lizard Draw. Basically, I use this card for draw power. Its pendulum effect is if you have a Performapal card in your other pendulum zone except Performapal Lizard Draw, you can destroy it. And if you do draw 1 card, you can only use this effect of Lizard Draw once per turn. And its monster effect is if another face-up a monster you control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or a card effect, you could draw cards equal to the number of Performapal monsters you currently control. You can only use this effect once per turn. I really like this card for its monster effect more than its pendulum effect, just because if you control this card and 2 other Performapals, if your opponent attacks into one of them, you can draw 2 or more cards or whatever number you possess. Another thing I do like about it is its scale is 6, making, pendulum summoning with just the Performapals alone a little more possible, but they need to get some more broad scales if they want some true pendulum summonings with them alone. And I also run 2 Performapal Turntoads. Turntoads, just another, attack and defense swapping monster. That's what the pendulum scale ability is. And the other monster effect is once per turn during your battle phase, except during the damage step, you could target one monster you control, change its battle position, and if you do, switch the current attack and defense until the end of the turn. So, along with Lizard Draw making, some viable pendulum summon plays 4 and 5, I basically use Turntoad, just to get maybe Friend Donkey's summon back up into attack mode, or if it was in, defense mode, something like that. Turntoad, just troll plays with this card is basically what I go for with that. I also run 2 Performapal Bowhopper. You contribute 1 Performapal monster and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the level of it that it had on the field times 100. And you contribute 1 Performapal monster, then target 1 Performapal monster in your graveyard. Other than that tributed monster, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Bowhopper once per turn. I like Bowhopper pretty much for the recycle ability to tribute a monster to add another one back, so I can get back Friend Donkey to go off of those plays. If I need Whipsnake over the Turntoad I have on the field, I can use that. I'll only run 2. The effect is good, the recycle ability, but 3 is kind of dead draw. And I also run 1 Performapal Elephant Hammer. This card, is just one of your bigger monsters. If you control 2 or more Performapal cards, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Cannot attack unless you control another Performapal card. When this card declares an attack, you can return all spell and traps your opponent controls to the hand. So like I said, they just needed a heavy hitter. I like running 1 in the deck just for that easy tech. It's easy to summon out. Plus, it only needs 1 tribute. So if you want to just tribute summon it without the original normal summon, you can do it that way as well. And then those are the Performapal monsters you run. I also run 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes can just search out any of the pendulum monsters in the deck with its own ability. So you can search out any other Performapal pendulum monsters, or you can search out Stargazer Magician or Tidegazer Magician. I run 2 of each of those as well. You still, like I said, until we get the rest of the support, you want to run these in your build. They just really help speed up plays for pendulum summoning. Like I said, we still need a good amount of the Performapal support to come to the TCG before they can really take off. 3 supply squads. Your monsters do get destroyed pretty easily by your opponent, so draw material is good. Same with 3 MST, pretty much just staple there. Same with 1 Dark Hole and 1 Book of Moon. And for traps, I run 3 Performapal Call. This is probably the MVP of the deck. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, target that attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, add up to 2 Performapals from your deck to your hand whose defense is less than or equal to the attack of that monster until the end of your next turn. So pretty much have to go off of their defense. So if your opponent attacks with a monster that has 1500 attack, you can use Call to negate the attack, add Whipsnake and Friend Donkey, because 9 plus 6 is 15, or anything like that. Very situational, but the negate attack does help, and adding monsters. The only downside is you can't special summon from your extra deck the next turn, so use this card knowing if you'll have plays or not that do not involve the extra deck. And I also run 2 Performapal Pinch Helper. This is a continuous trap. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, special summon 1 Performapal monster from your deck, but its effects are negated. When an attack is declared involving a monster you control and an opponent's monster, you can send this card to the graveyard. You take no battle damage. So the special summon ability is helpful, and the fact that you can also take no battle damage off of its secondary effect really helps, from taking heavy hit plays. And I also run for traps 1 Bottomless, 1 Compulse, 1 Warning, and 3 Dimensional Prison. This could be Dimensional Prison, Mirror Force, whatever you prefer. At the moment it's Deprison, but Mirror Force is just as good. And as for the extra deck, basically I didn't have one constructed just because you can go off of the monster attack changing ability with Whipsnake. You can go for Ragna Zeros in your extra deck. Ragna Zero is really good just because you can destroy monsters who attack and defense weren't their original and draw off of that. Basic rank 4s. If you wish, there are rank 7s you can go with Odd Eyes, but I'd stay to low-level rank 3s and 4s because that's what you can get with a lot of these cards, including Friend Donkey, Whipsnake, Bow Hopper, Liz Draw. So just generic rank 3s and 4s at the moment. When we get Beast Eyes, Pendulum Dragon, the deck will really, take a turn for a different type of playing, abusing Odd Eyes with any of the Beast Performapals you control. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.